Hi and welcome to another episode of All Talk with me, Dan Pearson, and today on the channel I've got my BMW Z3 2.8 wide body. I'm going to show you around the car and tell you a little bit about why I bought this one, and then I'm going to talk to you in a bit more detail about why I love the Z3, and then we're going to talk about why this car is going to be featuring on the channel in a little bit more detail. See you soon. That's enough of me talking about this car. I think I really ought to show you around it. Cue drone footage.
Yeah. Go and try your luck. Test me in again, we let it rain. Please don't start us up. Got that black and white, that yin and yang. Mr. Officer, please don't search us, we don't got a thing. Tell her park it up. Then that ass be poking out them jeans. I've been sparking up. Like the fireworks, I keep the flame. Heard you barking up. It's the wrong tree, I got the strings. Yeah, I'm charging up. They can't keep up, got them looking drained. Now they walking up, trying to put the face to the name. I pull up and I and I'm swerving. If a nigga try to holler, she gon' curve him. We came from under buzz like a Persian. We been staying in our lane.
If you enjoy watching content about cars from people who love cars and who buy absolutely terrible cars that nobody else wants to buy, then this is a channel for you. So hit that subscribe button and make sure to click the bell icon to get updated with all of my latest videos. Right guys, this is an AC Schnitzer tricked out Z3. So we've got a few little AC Schnitzer bits on here, including this AC Schnitzer front splitter. I've got the AC Schnitzer alloys and an AC Schnitzer gear knob. And then right in the back of the car, we've got a nice little bit of AC Schnitzer lower rear bumper trim. All of those bits together, even though they're subtle, make a big difference to this car for me and make it look a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more, dare I say it, Batmobile. Yes, I said it. Okay, I've just called the hairdresser's car Batmobile, but we're going to roll with it. So now I'm going to take you out on a drive in this car and tell you a little bit about the history of the Z3 and tell you why I really like it. So the BMW Z3 was first released in 1995, and at that time it had the 1.9 litre 4-cylinder engine, twin cam at that stage, which was good for around 140 brake horsepower. The narrow body car, the 1.9, didn't really float my boat that much, to be honest. But in 1997, when BMW released the 2.8 litre wide body, I got pretty excited, I have to say, because I thought the car looked stunning. And I think the rest of the buying population that were looking for something like a two-seater compact roadster felt exactly the same. So, the BMW Z3 first started design in 1991, and the man in charge of that process was a guy called Joji Nagashima. Now, Joji was particularly famous for designing the BMW E39 M5, one of the best looking saloons ever, in my honest and humble opinion. With the Z3, he was trying to imagine what the American market would want, and what they were looking for, he felt, was a retro roadster pared back to basics with some beautiful, pretty curves. And I think that's exactly what he managed to do. Let me talk to you about the engine in this BMW Z3. The 2.8 litre engine, the straight six, is absolutely renowned for its smoothness. It is, to this day, a silky smooth, beautiful engine. Will this power you down the road as fast as a modern car? Of course it won't. It was never all about power with this particular car. But when you jump in it now, when you drive this car, it's still so rewarding because it's such a smooth, pleasant experience. It's just warming and cosseting. It just makes you feel welcome, is probably the best way to describe it. Now you might be thinking, yeah, the old fat guy, too old for some excitement, and it might be the case. But at the same time, I actually think that this car really deserves its place in the history books. I had a Z3 when they first came out in '97, absolutely loved that car. 2.8 again, it was a beautiful thing, and I've kind of lusted after Z3s ever since. My first impressions of the BMW Z3 2.8 when it arrived were incredibly positive. The car used to get a lot of attention. The car that we had was finished in Montreal blue, which was a beautiful colour, and was complemented with chrome side grills and chrome roll hoops. It used to get a lot of attention, particularly from women, and it wasn't unusual in the first few months for me to come back and actually find women's telephone numbers left under the car's windscreen wipers. At the time I was a lot better looking and a lot slimmer, so it wasn't too traumatic for them. Imagine finding me turning back up now. Probably been a quite quite a frightful experience for them.
Search us, we don't got a thing. Tell her park it up. Then that ass be poking up. Them jeans up and sparking up. Like the fireworks, I keep the flame. Heard you walking up. It's the wrong tree, I got the strength. Yeah, I'm charging up. They can keep up, got them looking drained. Now they walking up, trying to put the face in the name. Pull up and I'm swerving. If a nigga try to holler, she gon' curve him. You came from on the buzz like a Persian.
So the BMW Z3 certainly had a little bit of a reputation as a hairdresser's car, and having no hair, I would say that's pretty unfounded, although some may say that my head's on upside down. But it's not really that much of a hairdresser's car. This is something which feels a solid, well-built roadster that I think is quite masculine, but then again I would, because I bought one. I just think it's a very pretty car, and I think trying to find small footprint cars that are small, relatively light and relatively pared back, it's not that easy, particularly on a budget. Exterior wise, I'm quite happy with the car, in all honesty. The AC Schnitzer bits look fantastic on it and really just differentiate the car from a standard Z3. I think I would like to obviously get some of the paintwork and some of the panel gaps a little bit tighter and cleared up a little bit more. But in terms of the way that the aesthetics are, I think it looks fantastic. It would have been nice to put some bigger alloy wheels onto this, but they would have to be another set of AC Schnitzers. I've got 17s on here at the moment, which I think look great, but I'd really like an AC Schnitzer split rim. Maybe something with a polished lip against the black. I think that's going to look cool as hell. Hey gringo, I'm driving my BMW Z3. It's made in Mexico. Well, it wasn't made in Mexico, but it was made in America. So it was one of the first cars to be made, actually, outside of BMW's traditional plants. George W. Bush making the BMW in the United States of America. Probably somewhere like Michigan. Who knows? Can't actually remember. I really should have read up on that bit before I actually made this video, but I didn't because I was busy. So you're going to have to go and Google that yourself and work out exactly where in the United States this car was made. I'm going to go with Michigan. Maybe Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh would be a cool place to make it. I like Houston, Texas. The very antithesis of Houston, Texas is small, compact roadster. Made in Texas? No. It's all kinds of wrong. Listen to that silky smooth engine. Everything about it is smooth. Even its power delivery, which is incredibly linear. And you would imagine that that's not necessarily the greatest thing, but actually it works so well in this car. It just makes for a really lazy type of driving. And actually this thing can be used as a daily driver. It makes a decent daily driver. It's comfortable. It's got some of the mod cons, actually. This car is well spec'd. It's got a Harman Kardon sound system. It has heated seats, power steering, electric windows, electric hood. It's not skimped in terms of the tech that's in here. We've got the BMW Business RDS stereo system with a 6 CD multi-changer. So we've got all of the things that you need to enjoy yourself if you're having a sporty drive out in the country, or whether or not you're doing your daily commute. BMW did a fantastic job designing the Z3. I think it looks incredibly pretty, and I think it still looks relevant today. It stands out as a classic old school roadster, and it really has a beautiful amount of charm. The curves look absolutely on the money, and I think it's quite a sexy car. I've always had a soft spot for these, and it's so nice to be driving one, and on the right day, on the right road, it really does take me back some years. It's not a terrible driving experience. Yes, the rear suspension isn't the best, but quite frankly, it's also not the worst. I've not driven one of these that's been modified and adapted and modernised, and I think that's exactly what we're going to do with this one over a period of time. We're going to try and keep it true to its old school feel, but we are going to try and make this drive a little bit more modern and a little bit more engaging. So that's likely to be a set of coilovers, upgrade the braking, and we're going to try and squeeze a little bit more power out of this car. We're not going to go crazy. I think we're going to aim for around 210 to 220 brake horsepower, get the handling and the braking sorted, and we should have a really engaging, really fun old school car that we can take out in the summer and enjoy. Your comments and suggestions actually would be really appreciated on this one. So comment below exactly what you think I should do to this Z3 project-wise. Guys, I'm telling you right now that you need to buy one of these before the prices go up and before it becomes incredibly difficult to find a nice one. These are definitely bridging the gap between technology and old school roadster feel in a way that actually very few other cars can do, in my opinion. You want to enjoy driving this car, you can put a lot of miles on the car, you can drive it and enjoy it, but you still get that old school feel. You could go back and get something older than this from the 70s, like a TR7 or a Triumph Stag, but you're going to get all of the problems that comes with owning something from that era. Whereas with this, you get the benefits of a relatively modern BMW, all of the technology that's in this, and at the same time, you get a real back to basics, raw appeal that you can't really get with many other cars. So don't hesitate, get on this before you can't find one, tuck it away, put it in the garage, maintain it, look after it, and more importantly than anything, enjoy it.
Talk a lot of shit, but we really with the shits. Lame ass niggas always gonna be reaching for they hit. Smoke a nigga like a clip. They can never catch me slipping. Every time your girl around, she be watch the way I'm dripping. Try your luck, test me in again, we let it rain. Please don't start us up. Got that black and white, that yin and yang. Mr. Officer, please don't search us, we don't